Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm so excited to bring you my makeup inventory. This video has been so delayed. I literally don't think I've done one of these since last year, and I've been preparing for this video since before April. I took a lot of the photos that you're going to see today in April, so I may have gotten a couple makeup items here and there, but I haven't really acquired much makeup, so hopefully my numbers are correct, but my pictures might be missing one or two items. Why don't we go ahead and get into it? As we get started, I have moved over to be able to put pictures here, and I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet so that we get through this quickly. Primers. January of 2019 I had 20, 2020 I had 20, 2021 I had 19, and as of July 2022, which feels so odd to say, I have 24. My goal honestly is to get my primer number in general down to 10. Now I realize I'm not going to do that this year. I probably won't even do that next year, but I think by the end of this year a good goal would be to just try to get it under 20, or under 20, about like 19 or so. And I do think I can kind of do that. I have a couple minis in my collection that I've been holding on to for the longest time, just because I only own like one from the brand, and I'm kind of over that mentality. So hopefully this year I'll be able to kind of work a couple like small primers out of my collection. I actually think I finished one. Like if it didn't get finished today, it will be done tomorrow, so that's kind of exciting. Going into foundation, 2019 25, 2020 24, 2021 19, and as of this year right now I'm sitting at 19. Again, my goal is to be under 10. I think like in my head, both primer and this category, there's like different kinds of primers, like hydrating and mattifying and pore filling and things like that, and as well as foundation. There's like more high coverage, more tinted moisturizers, more of like a medium coverage, and I would like to give myself the opportunity to have like one or two items in those like types of products within this like these categories. But to be honest, foundation is a category that I go through just super slowly anyways, so the chances of me using up I probably go through at least 3 foundations in a year if I were to really put my head like towards it. So 19 is like way too many. So again, an overall goal under 10 would be nice, but by the end of this year I probably won't be able to do anything. Maybe get to 15 by decluttering. Honestly, I might finish like 1, maybe 2 foundations, and then the rest would have to come from decluttering this year, so we'll see how that goes. Next up we have concealers. I do love concealers, and I do go through, I think I use concealers more than I use foundation, so this category I'm pretty happy with. So 2019 I had 13, 2020 11, 2021 10, and I remember like in 2021 when I filmed, I was like, I need to like beef up my like concealer category, and I have in fact used up so many concealers in a year that I have to kind of purchase every Ulta sale. I tend to like buy like at least one concealer because I go through them pretty quickly. And as of right now I have 15, which makes sense because I just kind of purchased some from, I think Tarte had a sale, and I bought 2 there that you see. A lot of those are new, but there are a couple of those that are almost done too. So I think by the end of the year, my goal being under or like less than 10 concealers, I actually think that I can probably do that by the end of this year. At the same time, I'm just saying that, you know, I'll be happy if I stay at or don't go over 15 this year, so we'll see. Again, this category isn't one that really intimidates me. I feel pretty good about my collection at this point. I know I'm like very familiar with what I have, and there are a couple items that I don't love that I would like to get out, but for the most part, a lot of those concealers I would actually like just repurchase and keep around all the time. So moving into powders, 2019 I had 14, 2020 15, 2021 12, and as of right now I'm sitting at 16. Again, I have a couple minis that I probably should eventually try to work through. My overall goal would be 10. I don't really know why I said 10. I think it's just more of that awareness of how many powders do I kind of go through in a year, and I probably don't need more than 10. I mean, like, who needs more than 10 powders? But honestly, 10 or fewer than 10 would probably be ideal. By the end of this year, I think 13 would be a good goal. Working at least like 3 out of my collection. We'll see if that happens. Okay, next up we have bronzer. 2019 13, 2020 14, 2021 10, and as of this year right now I have 12 bronzers, which is a lot. I love bronzer. I feel like I use bronzer pretty heavily, and at the same time I realize that I don't finish bronzers as quickly as I would like to. So again, I think any product category that I get to where I'm like, I like this category and yet I know I don't go through them quickly, I tend to pick that number 10 because I feel like that's reasonable. I'm not ever going to be a minimalist, but at the same time I feel like 10 is enough variety to like be able to use them, you know, quite a bit during the year. So I would like this year to at least finish one bronzer completely. At the moment, I'm not sure that's gonna happen, but that would be nice. 2 would be like, I would be very proud of myself if that happened, but again, not really expecting that. I'm really gonna try to finish one though. We will see if that happens. All right, next up, blush. 2019, I had 8 blushes. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? 2020, 12. 2021, I jumped up to 17, and as of right now, I have 19 blushes. That's a lot. I know that that's a lot, but I really do enjoy blush, and granted, I will admit that when I go to swatch my collection, a lot of them end up looking the same, but they are different finishes, so I'm making excuses for myself. Grand scheme of things, I'm okay with having a larger blush collection. I feel like it's fun, and as long as I stay kind of close to 20 for now, I'll be glad and proud of myself. Now in the future, can I see that number going up? Probably. Have I ever finished a blush? Absolutely not. I finished lipsticks that I've used as blushes, but never like an actual powder blush, which is crazy to know that I have 20. So by the end of the year, I'd like to kind of stay in this realm of 20. I do need to kind of eventually go through my collection and start to declutter, because let's be honest, am I actually going to use up a blush anytime soon? Probably not. My favorite formulas are baked, so that means that if I were to ever try to pan one of those, I would indeed probably be venturing on a journey of self-harm. But here we go into highlight. In 2019, I had 20, 2020, 26, 2021, I had 28, and as of right now, I still have 28. Which is an accomplishment for me. I love highlight. I am like someone who overuses highlight, and I don't really see that changing for myself. I know the trend has kind of gone like to more natural highlights, and yet I still like my duochromes. I still like my like more pop-in highlights. So I'm saying overall, I'll be happy. I'm happy with my collection as it is. Do I need to add to it? Probably not. So if I stay around where I'm at right now, which is under 30, I'll be happy. Granted, if I see one that I really want, I also don't want to like demonize myself and let myself buy it, but right at the moment I haven't really seen many highlights that I'm like super tempted by. Next up, we have face palettes. So overall, this is another category that I feel pretty comfortable with. 2019 I had 4, 2020 I had 5, 2021 I had 8, and as of right now I'm sitting at 10. And I think like this part of I actually reach for face palettes pretty often, and I feel like this part of my collection is manageable, and I don't want it to get too much bigger because I could see adding too many face palettes, like I would eventually like get swamped by them. But I feel like I know what I have. I know when I want to grab for them. I know what's in each one of them, and I know how I like to use those products, if that makes sense. And so I'm good. I hope I stay at this goal by the end of the year. I'm not really tuned into the face palette market at the moment, but I'm not itching for a new one. So next up we have brows, and as I'm looking down, I'm laughing at myself because I don't realize until I look at these numbers when I do these videos just how large this category is for me. So in 2019 I had 17. Granted, in the past, the reason why these numbers are so like large is that I've had friends and family gift me like benefit brow packages and boxes and things, and they're just easy to pick up, little bitty brow things, and next thing you know, you have 17 items. And in 2020, 15, 2020, I had 11, and right now I'm sitting at 15 again. Well aware that that's a lot of brows for someone who always does the same brow look. I am working diligently on finishing brow products, but they take me forever. So that is what it is. I finished up a brow pomade, was it like a year and a half ago? That literally took me almost two to 3 years, and right now I'm working on another Benefit pencil, and it is a beast and a half. I have a whole nother brow pomade that's never even been opened that literally will probably take me another 3 years, and it is what it is. I would love to get that number down to 5, but by the end of the year, I'm hoping to at least finish 3 items. We shall see. I used to not be a pencil girl, but I feel like I've really learned a lot about how to utilize, or like what kind of pencils I like and how to utilize them better. So I kind of foresee myself leaning towards that more, whereas in the past I used to say I probably could get away with like owning 1 pomade and that being it. But I digress. Why don't we go ahead and move into eyeliner. In 2019 I had 24, 2020 22, in 2021 I had 17, and as of right now I still have 17. This is another category that I don't go crazy on. I tend to honestly forget to put on eyeliner. In fact, I'm looking at that picture and there's like a pretty lilac-y purple one that I bought specifically to do purple looks with. Have I tried it yet? Absolutely not. So do I need 17? Probably not. My goal would be to like kind of start to knock this category down, because I realize that I don't need all of these. Now you'll see in the picture, like I have some liquid ones up the top, and then some like black like pencil liners. I have some colorful ones, which I only have like 4 colorful ones, and then I have some white and tan ones that I don't need that many, and then I have some fun glitter or metallic eyeliners, and I only have 3 of those. At least I'll give myself credit for not having a million of the same type of pencil. Like I feel like I have good variety, and I do have room to kind of pare them down. So by the end of the year I'd like to be at 15, which would mean I use up 2, so we shall see if that happens as well. Moving into mascara. This is one that I feel like is going in the right direction. 2019 I had 18, 2020 16, 2021 13, and now I'm sitting at 11. My goal is to be at 8 by the end of the year, just because I'd like to kind of use up a good number, or you know, a solid couple this year. And then moving into single shadows, another category where I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. If it looks like I'm sinking down in this video, it's because I have this giant pillow and I am sinking down, but I'm not gonna adjust myself now. I'm just gonna sink into it. In 2019, I had 54 single shadows. In 2020, I had 46. 2021, 42, and currently I'm sitting at 33, which is like, it's still a hefty number, but I don't feel like that's too crazy. I know now what I like and what I look for in single shadows, so I feel comfortable with that. And probably by the end of this year I'll have even less, because a lot of my like Stila, like those little glitter shadows, I am probably gonna have to end up decluttering those soon, because they are just to the point where they're dried, they're used up, one, and they're dried out too. And even though they're beautiful, I don't feel like trying to revive them for probably like the 3rd time. At this point I should just let them go, and if I really feel myself missing a shade or 2, I can repurchase in the future, hopefully. And a lot of those ColourPop shadows too, they're probably only going to be like good for another like year or 2. I don't quite know how long to expect them to last, but when they start to dry up and crumble, I'll probably eventually end up like getting rid of those. I do have 3 Stila or Suva liners up there. They're technically liners, but I use them, when I use them like I use single shadows, so I put them here if you're wondering. But yeah, by the end of the year I'd like to kind of be under 30. I don't quite know if I'll get to my goal of 25, but I don't think I'll be too far from it. Now, moving into the fun one, eyeshadow palettes. This one is one that, again, until I saw the numbers, I was shocked. In 2019, I had a humble 32 palettes. In 2020, I had 38. 2021, I had 48. And as of right now, I have 71 palettes. 71. I'm honestly shocked to see that number. Like I know my eyeshadow palette collection has grown, but in my head, does it feel like I have 71 palettes? Absolutely not. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that means that I like at least know what I have, but at the same time, I like knowing that I have 71 palettes. There's only 52 weeks in a year. That's like more than a palette a week. So that's a lot. And there are palettes nowadays that I find myself less excited to reach for. Am I able to declutter them yet? No, because I have attachment issues. So I'm just kind of leaving my goal as I have no earthly idea what this goal is going to be. Is 71, does 71 sound like a scary number? Absolutely. Does it fit in my current storage situation? Kind of. Am I just gonna roll with it for now? Moving into false lashes. Another larger category, I think, in the grand scheme of things, but I also like know that I have exactly the styles that I want and need, and I will just kind of use them up. I don't feel the need to purchase any at the moment. 2019 I had 35, 2020 29, 2021 23, and currently I have 26. My goal is to get it down at least for the foreseeable future under 20, and I'd like to be at that goal by the end of the year. I am trying to push myself to wear lashes more often, at least even if I'm only going to wear them in the house to film, so we'll see how that goes. Moving into lip liner, another category that I find myself not super excited by. Like I don't need to have a collection as large as I do, but when I look at those shades, I can't not bring myself to declutter, because I'm like, well, what if I need a dark burgundy shade? Like if I want to wear a dark burgundy lip one day, I absolutely will need a lip liner for it, and I don't want to go buy a lip liner for that, so I might as well just hold on to what I have, if that makes sense. In 2019 I had 23, 2020 23, 2021 22, and currently I have 25. Probably the only reason why that went up is because I did buy a couple KKW liners like a year ago or so, and I'm enjoying that formula, and they're shades that I like. Honestly, when I reach for nudie shades, I reach for those KKW liners now. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not like things that I'm not using, but I'd like my goal to be 20. Now I probably won't get to that goal by like using up many. I'd probably have to end up decluttering a couple shades, like get real with myself. Am I gonna really need this hot pink lip liner? Maybe. At the moment it feels like I do. Anyways, moving into bullet lipsticks. Oh, this one is one that feels like a roller coaster. At one point when I feel like, okay, that's a lot, then I feel like I'm making progress, and then next thing you know, I'm like, well, I want to buy more lipstick, even though I don't need to. 2019, I had 62, 2020, 52, 2021, 56, and now I'm sitting at 61. I don't really know how that happens. Actually, I do. I have been gifted some by a friend, even though I haven't worn many of them yet. They're very pretty fall shades, so I'm actually like excited to wear them this fall. And then I bought myself like one lipstick over the past year. My goal was to be under 50, just because I think 50 sounds a lot better than 61. And in the grand scheme of things, again, I do not wear lipsticks all that often. I am more of a gloss and lip liner gal, although I do like thin balmy style lipsticks. I like those. So if I really have a shot at getting to that goal of under 50, it's probably gonna come from decluttering, but at the moment I'm not really interested in doing that, so I probably won't be at my goal. Or right now I put my goal by the end of the year is to be at 60 or under 60, which is one lipstick, so maybe I can get there. Baby steps, good for me. Liquid lipstick. This is a category that is way too big because I just don't wear these lipsticks hardly at all anymore. 2019 I had 58, 2020 29, 2021 33, 2022 I'm sitting at 32. I'd like by the end of this year to be at least at 30 or under 30. This is just a category that I don't really utilize anymore. If I do utilize them, they're typically like bright colors that I don't want to budge, and I'm looking down at that picture and I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of nudie shades that I could probably end up decluttering at some point. It just depends on if my attachment issues flare up. Okay, I've tried to adjust myself some because it was kind of getting a little ridiculous how much I was thinking. Gloss. I love gloss. So 2019 I had 38, 2020 I had 27, 2021 I have 25, and right now I have 21. My goal is to be at 20. I'm in the grand scheme of things, again, I know, I think that's the phrase of this video. I need to stop saying it. I don't really know what a great number or goal would be, but for now I'm just saying 20, and I do think by the end of the year I will be at that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to finish my gloss this week, which is exciting, and I need to just start rolling through some of my older ones so that I can have an excuse to buy new ones, because I want to try a bunch of different formulas. I love Buxom glosses, I love tingly glosses, but I hear such good things about like Pat McGrath glosses and things like that. And I've always wanted to try one of the Marc Jacobs glosses, but now they're gone out of business makeup wise, and so I'll never get that opportunity. So I really want to give myself the opportunity to try some other formulas, and I need to make myself branch out. But in order to do that, I definitely want to use a good bit more of my collection up before I buy new ones. Now, moving into setting spray, I don't use setting spray a ton, so the fact that these numbers never really got too crazy out of hand, I feel pretty like proud of myself with. 2019 I had 7, 2020 I had 8, 2021 I had 5, and right now I currently have 5. My goal is to be at 3 by the end of the year, which again I think I can do. I have 1 setting spray in a project pan, and then I have a couple minis that need to get used up. I'm just gone, so that definitely means I could hit my goal by the end of the year, so I look forward to being able to do that. Next category, I have a miscellaneous category. This is just things like random makeup tools and primers, eyeshadow primers I put in here because I use them sparingly. Honestly, I forget to use them. I end up using concealer and things, so I just kind of throw them in this category. 2019, 15, 2020, 20 items, 2021, 18, and currently I'm sitting at 18. I have a bunch of those, like you'll see like little row of like round colorful things. Those are like pigments that came with liquid lipsticks a ton like a long time ago, and you're supposed to like put them on and make them metallic, and I need to just like go play around with them one day and try them over, like not liquid lipsticks because that's too dry, but if I've chapped them over like actual bullet lipsticks, or if I tried them as eyeshadows and I don't like them, I need to get rid of them. But again, those attachment issues are real and I have trouble letting go. So for now, I'm just gonna try to kind of nudge myself to use up 3 items and kind of say that my goal is 15 like random miscellaneous things, just because 15 sounds like a nice round number. Now that brings us to the end. The total number of makeup items in my collection currently, 478. Now that is 478 items, like full eyeshadow palette, not even counting like single pans. I literally can't, my brain would break if I tried to like count up the actual number of pans of items in my collection. I'm not about that kind of torture. So at the end of this year, my use up goal, if I were to kind of like talk about when I talked about, you know, by the end of this year I'd like to use up 1 or 2 or here and there, my goal would be to use up 38 items, which is a lot. So I'm really excited. By the end of this year, I hope to be able to bring at least something to you saying how many items that I used up by the end of this year. It's going to be a challenge for me because I know I keep saying this, I have a new baby. She doesn't feel that new anymore, being 7 months old now, but the reality is that you know my life's changed a ton, and as much as I want to wear makeup some days, I just can't get myself there. So 478 items total. I'd like to use up 38. Keep your eyes peeled for a video down the road, hopefully, where I can update how many makeup items I actually used up this year. I hope I'll be so proud of myself if it's even halfway to 38. But yeah, make sure you say hello in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.